you doing today? I'm going to be doing your love forecast for the month of August 2016. Woo! And the devil just popped out here. Don't know what that's about. Sometimes these messages do jump out, but unless they come out in your reading, there's not much I can do in terms of interpreting them. I'm going to call on Spirit. What are the messages and energies that you have for the sign of Aries for the month of August 2016? What does Aries need to know regarding their love lives for the month of August? Now, this is a general love reading and will not resonate with everyone. For the most accurate reading with the most accurate outcome, I do recommend coming and getting a private reading. Once again, Spirit, what are the messages and energies that you have for Aries with regards to their love lives? What's going to be going on with Aries in the month of August? What can they expect with regards to their love lives? A few more shuffles here. I am going to be doing a rune casting today, as well as drawing an oracle message at the end of your reading, so you'll want to stick around for that. Alright, Aries. Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising, and those on the cusp. What will be so for Aries? So we have the 10 cards down for your tarot reading. This is the Celtic crossbred, and it doesn't look like it, but I am trying to fit all the cards on the table here so you can see them. These cards are slightly larger than a normal sized deck, but they're wonderful. This is the Anna K Tarot, by the way, for those of you who are interested in purchasing or just interested in general. What will be so for Aries? Okay. Kanaz has been coming up a lot. We have Isa and Kanaz on your crossing card and on your significator. The runes that are face down, whoa, this incense is getting strong. I'm going to put that out. The runes that are face down are the unknowns. I don't read the unknowns. Those are messages we're just not meant to know yet. And they will be relevant to us at a later date. I'm going to move Kanaz and Isa off your cards here. So, we have the devil again. So this did pop out at the beginning of my shuffle. It is in reverse. What's crossing you is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Interesting. What comes below you is the Knight of Cups reversed. What comes above you is the Ten of Swords reversed. In your recent past, you have the Six of Pentacles reversed. In your near future, you have the Fool reversed. In the position of how you see yourself, you have the Eight of Swords. In your environment, you have the Seven of Pentacles. In your hopes and fears, you have the Hangman, and your outcome for the month of August is the Star. Nice. So one thing I'll notice is that I want to mention is that you do have a lot of reversals in your reading, and sometimes when that happens, I do get a lot of comments saying, oh, your deck was upside down, you didn't shuffle the cards. Well, I just shuffled the cards on camera for you, and the deck is always pre-sorted before I start the reading, so all the cards are face up. While I'm shuffling the cards, reversals happen. I do read reversals, so typically when I see this many reversals, it can say that there's a lot of blocked energy. There's a significant planet in your chart that's in retrograde right during the month of August, or something along those lines, okay? Now, not all reversed meanings are bad or negative. We don't qualify them like that in tarot. It's a different meaning to the upright meaning, so I'll get to that when we get to those cards that are reversed. And I'll explain the upright meaning as well. So in your significator position, this is the energy that you walk into August with. You have the devil in reverse. So I really see you, Aries, as going through hitting some kind of rock bottom in terms of a bad relationship or some addictive behavior. It could be that you were in a codependent relationship and you're getting out of it. You're seeing how it's negatively impacted you. This talks about broken agreements or breaking the chains of something that once bound us. It could be that some of you are letting go of a toxic relationship or a bad habit that has been affecting a relationship, such as maybe you were in a relationship with someone who has a drinking problem and you are the codependent in the relationship. You were, maybe it's that you were in a relationship with someone that was enabling you to do bad things, but you came into the light and you realized that it wasn't working. It was a negative behavior. This card is far better in the reverse, and it did come up with the Ruin Canaz and Merkstave, which does mean luck, which means when it's a Merkstave, Merkstave would be the upright, or the normal way of looking at it would be like this, luck, and it was like this, okay, so pointing up like this. Which means that if we turned both the rune and the card upright, we're dealing with a situation that does involve risk, does involve gambling. So for some of you, it could be that you don't wish to don't wish to gamble anymore, or take a risk in a relationship that you can see was very toxic for you. This is a more empowering position for you in the reverse, but the rune is also telling me that you are not going to be able to get away with the same bad habits or to continue going in this cycle anymore. It's going to disrupt some of the patterns that you've been dealing with. Breaking this habit is definitely going to have effect on a relationship in your life. I'm also getting that. In the challenge position, we have an earth sign. I'm getting a receptive or female energy here. The Queen of Pentacles is just lovely in the upright position. She's nurturing, protective. She can be a bit more concerned about business and her home, as opposed to being kind of the fun-loving Queen of Wands or the emotional Queen of Cups. She's more grounded in reality and in the material world. But that doesn't diminish her loveliness. As you can see by the card, she has her hand on her belly, which speaks to her fertility, her creativity, that she's expecting more things to grow in her life. She's surrounded by luxuries. She's surrounded by plentifulness. And she is in the challenge position with Isa, which talks about being at a standstill. It could be that for some of you, this is a beneficent influence in your life, this Queen of Pentacles, this Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus female, and she's been helping you get through a toxic relationship. Now, if she's coming up in the challenge position for you as an obstacle, this could be someone that is challenging you in some way or is presenting an obstacle. She is at a standstill. She's frozen. There's something about her that's not, maybe she's not budging with you on some issue. Now, this can also be saying that you're a bit down on your luck in August. You've hit rock bottom, Aries, and your challenge is to really embody the stability and principles that the Queen of Pentacles can really show you. And I feel positive about this person. I feel like she is here to help you. The only thing that worries me is that perhaps you're at a standstill with this person. Perhaps she's not talking to you, or she's having difficulty understanding where you're coming from, or vice versa. Maybe it's that you've broken an agreement or a relationship with this person because she's just feeding into your materialism, your addiction to money and having things, and that's not where you want to be right now. So in your root position, we have the Knight of Cups reversed, which is the ex-lover, which is the ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. And in the reverse position, this is someone who's very flaky. They don't mean what they say. They can have a lot of one-night stands, or they can kind of charm the pants off of you, but then when it comes down to actually giving you something meaningful, they're not going to be there for you. So they can kind of come and go as they please. They're a real charmer. Often I see this as the Lover in reverse, and with the Devil in reverse, it just tells me that you've said no to someone in your life who has these qualities, and your challenge is to be more maybe like the Queen of Pentacles, someone very independent, who's nurturing, who can stand on her own, who has her own business, but is maybe a little bit frigid in the love department. If this was a relationship that was built on just physical attraction, that makes sense as well, because it's like you're breaking that physical barrier, you're breaking those physical bonds with that person, and you're striving to be more independent in terms of your love life. In the recent past, you have the Six of Pentacles reversed. Now, I'm just going to be frank. The meaning of this card is absence of generosity, atrocity, or lack of kindness, and definitely a power imbalance. That means that you or the other person was withholding affection, didn't feel like giving them the time of day. Just a real lack of kindness, or even wanting to be kind to someone. Certainly, I'm getting a withholding, someone withholding, maybe withholding sex from someone, maybe withholding power, maybe withholding kindness. This was in your recent past, but I feel like coming into the present, there was a breaking of bonds, a breaking of a bad habit or a toxic relationship. Now, in the position of what you're maybe thinking or feeling, you have the Ten of Swords reversed. So this is what you like to make yours, what you haven't. I'm getting the sense that something is really over and you're clinging to it. The grapes have died on the vine and you're still picking them. So you want to overcome this pain, but in order to do that, you do need to walk away from it. You do need to leave it behind. Something happened in your love life for some of you Aries that felt like it was someone stabbed you in the back. Okay, this is trauma here. And I think it's mental trauma. I think it's emotional trauma. Whatever it was, it did create an ending and hence a new beginning, but there's a clinging to something here that hasn't been good for you. Maybe you're still clinging to this relationship even though it's over, even though it hasn't. It's a codependent relationship, it's a toxic relationship. There's something that you still are holding on to. Now, in the near future, you have the Fool reversed, which tells me that some of you are being very cautious and deliberate in your moves. You're not ready to be free of the burdens yet, free of the burdens and responsibilities. Not a free spirit. More, it could also be that someone in your life is acting a fool. Someone is being, taking risks and gambling, with you or with your possessions, with your money. It could be that they're taking foolish risks and leaving you feeling unsafe or uncomfortable. This is in the middle of August though. I'm prone to think that, so in the position of how you see yourself, you have the Eight of Swords reversed. You see yourself as freeing yourself here. Again, breaking of the bonds, getting out of a toxic relationship. And I feel like either you're being very cautious or someone around you is just being crazy, is gone off the deep end here and is being very foolish with you, taking foolish risks, and you're saying, I'm getting the heck out of here. I'm not putting up with this anymore. Now in your environment, this is also how your significant other may be viewing you or dealing with you. They have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So this card tells me that someone has put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and doesn't feel like they're getting anywhere, doesn't feel like they're accomplishing anything. Maybe you've tried talking to them about it, you've tried working things out, and it's just not working. They see you as maybe not able to reap the rewards of your past efforts, or feeling frustrated. There's a sense of maybe wanting to give up a little bit on this investment that you've put in a lot of effort into. It could be that you are taking a break. You're weighing the pros and cons of the relationship, and you're finding that with regards to the other person, there's more cons than there are pros. There's a need to be practical at this point. They see you as stopping what you're doing and starting to figure out, you know, what is it that I'm really getting out of this relationship? Is this person giving me what I need right now? Are they putting in the equal effort? Your hopes and fears are the Hangman. I think your fear is that your hands are tied in this situation, and that you things are really on hold for the time being. It could be that you're fearing this type of energy where nothing changes. I'm looking at his facial expression. He's not happy to have been hung up on this on this pole here. He's literally been hung up by his feet. He's strung up by his feet. And who knows how long he'll be hanging there. The weather could be very bad out. There may be a lot of storms. And there's a sense of time standing still. You know, maybe you're afraid to take this time to kind of reevaluate where things are. It may be necessary for you to do this, but you're afraid of actually putting things on hold for the time being. Now your outcome is beautiful. You have the Star, which talks about hope, faith, optimism, astrology, believing in your goals, believing that there's a higher calling for you, knowing that your angels and spirit guides are around you, guiding you. This is the Star of Light, the North Star, shining for you, beckoning you. It's letting you know that there is hope, and you should not give up hope just yet. It is a strong and powerful message. of rejuvenation as well. It's saying that you will find peace in this situation. You will be guided in the right direction. Do not lose faith. Do not give up. Hope. There is hope for you, Aries. I'd like to read an oracle message from my Oracle of Mermaids deck. And this message is only for my Aries, suns, moons, and risings, and those on the cusp, to help guide them in love and in light. Okay, interesting. I'm trying to think who else got this card. There was another sign that got the experiments. I'm trying to think. It was Pisces. Okay, some of you may be in a relationship with a water sign, such as a Pisces. It's possible. So I want to read to you from the Oracle Mermaids Guidebook. There's a short message that goes along with this card. Let's see. So it says, all experiments are not bad, but many are cruel. When humans use other creatures for their own selfish purposes, they lose the very part of themselves that is most beautiful and noble. Many claim ignorance or have been persuaded that experimenting on animals or on our friends, lovers, etc., is necessary for human health and well-being. You are now awakening and seeing the connections between all life forms. You are awakening to the wrongness of seeking to understand something by taking it apart, and most often without consent. Separating families, tribes, colonies, for the purposes that are selfish and cruel. This took place in Atlantis, and the mermaids witnessed this with the creatures of Lemuria and the animals who were often torn apart on tables as if they were unable to feel. We need to step in, all of us, and change it. It is happening again. That's why we're talking to you now. Now, the reverse meaning of this card talks about cruel choices with no thought to how they take place. Not understanding that luxury can come about due to the power excess and enslavement of others, including the elementals, the merfolk, the oceans, the sea creatures, the animals and labs, the people who have lost their sense of rightness in the world. Have you forgotten who you are? Are you concerned with what is not important? Have you forgotten kindness? Think for a moment of the overfished seas. Okay, it goes on and on here. It's just talking about, you know, arrogance, believing that we have infinite time and that we can solve anything through more of the same that caused the problem. Say no to experimenting on yourself, on animals. Come back to holistic and ethical medicine. Be whole and centered in your nature. Know that you are worthwhile. Let no one rob you of your dignity and convince you that you must be changed. Okay, so some powerful messages there for you, Aries. Not all of you will resonate with this message. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I don't feel the need to kind of tie everything together and make total sense of everything, because not everything is going to make sense. But I do feel like some of you are needing to break a bad habit. There's something that you or a loved one is doing in terms of a relationship or in terms of your own behavior that is toxic, and you are breaking through that. I feel like this card is asking you to resist this darker force. Perhaps some of you are battling literally the devil in your life. There have been signs along the way that you have been tempted to do things that are not for your highest good. And it's now time for you to get back to a more centered, holistic version of yourself, the one that's healthy and grounded, the one that is free of cruelty and arrogance, etc., etc., etc. So the star to me talks about healing and clearing away all of that negative energy, okay? Toxic energy, washing that away, coming to a place of balance and peace in your life. All right? So sending you many blessings, Aries. Wishing you much love and light throughout the month of August. Take care of yourselves.